The topic is Brother to Brother, excuse me, a mentoring organization. And Dr. Bakari is back with us for this final segment. We had an opportunity earlier to talk to Mr. Bruce Bryan and Mr. Marshall Henderson, who gave us some excellent information relative to the concept of this idea of brother to brother as a mentoring organization. And of course, Dr. Bakari, during this last segment, let's have you to talk about some of the things that Mr. Bruce Bryant mentioned dealing with the young people, the mentoring process, and then to talk about perhaps some of the goals that you have for this particular organization and some of the needs that the people of our audience might be able to assist you in.
Just to kind of recap what Bruce had mentioned as far as the organization, one of the interesting things about it is that we do have a wide variety of members. And when I say members, it's not like this is a fraternity or a social club or something where people have to pay a dues and they have to be expected to come, you know, and do certain things. What we just emphasize is that brothers are gathering, and that's what we call it. And we tell brothers, I send emails when somebody says, hey, I have a friend who's interested. I'll send them the email and say, the brothers are gathering at this time and at this place. And that's all the pressure that's put on the brothers. If they have a son, we welcome brothers to bring their sons. And I don't want it to sound sexist, but we sweat with brothers and we work with brothers. There are a number of very good sister groups. My wife, Ayani Imani, deals with a sister group. And we just believe in the African tradition that men raise men. There's a saying that women bring men to the door and then we take them through. So we're working with these young brothers to try to help them find out who they are. What makes brother to brother a little bit different is the second part of our organization that's called older to younger. And in this portion of the organization, we're truly dealing with young men from the age of 11 to 18 who are either wards of the state or in state custody as being foster care, children in foster care, children who have run into problems with the law. And brother to brother at this point becomes a rites of passage organization where we're saying that we're not only teaching young men, because the organization older to younger has a number of different themes. One theme is health and physical fitness. One theme is entrepreneurship and business. Another theme is what we call life cycles, and then African American studies. And we say those educational themes are very important, and there's some good organizations around Nashville that deal with educational themes. What makes us a little bit different is that we're also dealing with rites of passage and saying this is what takes a young boy from being a boy and makes him a man. So the Sweat Lodge is part of that rites of passage process for the younger brothers who are in older to younger. You asked me about some of the things.
Some of the goals that you hope to achieve with this organization.
Well, one, we hope to be able to branch out to other cities, not only within the metropolitan Nashville area, but across the country. One of our older members, you heard me mention him, Nasheed Fakhruddin, who we call Kolioso. It's his hope that this will be able to be a national organization. Some of our needs are that we need brothers to act as teachers. We need brothers to act as mentors. When I say mentors, being at MTSU, we have a wide variety of young college-age students who are interested in actually mentoring these younger adults. But as far as teaching is concerned, we need brothers who have some type of expertise or who've coached, who've taught, whether that's formally or informally. We'd like to get brothers to come out and say, hey, I'm willing to spend 3 or 4 hours a month, not a week, a month, working with young African-American men.
Have you found that that the youth are receptive to such organizations, and how do they react when they first come into such an organization?
Well, let me take my son and Elder's son, for instance. The young men think it's exciting because as far as the sweat lodge is concerned, it's almost like you're camping out. You know, we meet early in the afternoon and we're there around the fire talking, and the brothership and the fraternizing really gives young men this opportunity to see what men do. You know, quite often we see, young men see older men watching the football game, or they see us doing something that they perceive as that's what men do. But very rarely do they see men just bonding as men, not around a football game, not around a beer, but around real issues of family, education, transformation. So, yes, it's very, very enlightening for young brothers.
You know, Mr. Bryant used the word during his segment of the marvelous transformation that people generally undergo when they go through this process. Speak to that.
All right. You know, this is not a magic bullet. When you come into the NEPI, we try to tell brothers that this is something that begins to open you to your own self-healing. And part of it is that in the NEPI it's dark, it's very private. So men can open up to those things that have been bothering them. Somebody says it allows them to testify, okay? And you have other brothers who are there who've experienced some, maybe not all of what they've experienced, but have the opportunity to say, brother, I feel what you're going through, so I empathize with you. But we not only have the empathy, but we have the vehicle for a solution where a brother will say, this is what I did to get past that point in life. And some of these issues that men are dealing with are very subtle. Some of them are very general. You know, men deal with machoism. Men deal with being sexist. Okay, how do we get over sexism? Well, we talk about it. You know, we have to realize that our wives, our mothers, our daughters are first and foremost the most intimate part of God. And as a part of God, how do we relate to that part? And then also, it's hard for us to relate to the feminine part of ourselves. I don't mean in any homosexual fashion, but I mean just as being nurturers, just as being loving. I think many people say the problem in the black community is that black men are not loving enough, okay, because we have to be hard and macho. So all of those type of things are dealt with through the sweat lodge, through the heat, okay, through the sweating, through the brotherhood and the bonding.
And of course, over the last minute and 30 seconds that we have here, Dr. Bakari, let me thank you for bringing us that information and bringing Mr. Henderson as well as Mr. Bryant with you.
We want to thank you.
To talk about this project, because I think it's a very, very important project. And we've got about a minute to go. And during this last minute, let's give you an opportunity to make a final comment by at least inviting people to become more interested in your organization by making some statements in reference to that.
All right. If anyone is interested, I'd ask that they contact myself. My work number is 898-5905. I'm at Middle Tennessee State University. If I'm not in the office at that time, I will call them back. And some of the things that we need land. Okay, we need some place where we can set up a permanent NEPI, 5 to 10 acres of land. If somebody wanted to lease it to us, loan it to us, just give it to us for free, we wouldn't turn it down. And we need brothers who are willing to work.
Willing workers, is that what you need?
That's
and of course, let me thank you for coming by and giving us that information.
Thank you.
And let me encourage our audience to tune in again next week for another informative edition of Comments. Thank you and good morning.